What's up you guys, welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video we're going to be installing a brand new grill on my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. I know you guys seen me install a TRD Pro grill, but that's not going to be staying. I'm going to be actually installing this brand new one. So if you guys are like me and you guys like the new style grill on these new 2020 Tacomas, you guys are going to like this. This actually comes blacked out and it already comes with pre-installed Raptor lights. All you have to do is install the harness and you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and show you just exactly in depth on how to install it, and then at the end of the video I'll go ahead and give you guys just a rough look around, and I'm going to show you just how bright these things really are and how it looks. So if you guys want to stay until the end, be my guest. I hope you guys do enjoy this. So let's go ahead and get into the install video. Before that though, don't forget to enter into the TRD Pro grill giveaway video. So like I said, let's go ahead and get into the video and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So the basic tools you're going to need for this install are going to be a 10mm socket. You're also going to need a flathead or a panel removal tool, and you're also going to need needle nose pliers or something like that. You're also going to need a Phillips head, and then when going into the wiring process of the actual Raptor lights, this is going to be to the preference of how you guys do the install. But as far as for me, I'm going to go ahead and be using a heat gun, and I'm going to be installing an additive fuse with fuses onto it, and of course I'm going to be using the heat shrink. That's why I have my heat gun for today. So the first thing you're going to go ahead and notice is there is a bolt here and a bolt here. Those are going to be the size 10mm socket, so let's go ahead and remove that. So the next step, you want to go ahead and get a panel removal tool or a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to notice there's a clip here. You want to go ahead and pop that open and remove it. You're also going to notice on the opposite side there is also one more over here. You want to go ahead and remove that. So the next step on removing it, this is going to be if you have a 2018 and up Tacoma. They do have a sensor in the front, so this step is for you. If you don't have a 2018 and up, you can skip this step. You want to go ahead and get some needle nose pliers, and you're going to notice there is a little brown clip here. You could either do it by hand or get some pliers as I stated. Do it kind of carefully because it is plastic, and just kind of maneuver it in, or I should say squeeze it in until it pops right under, just like that. Once you do so, you're going to notice right here is the actual harness for the sensor, and you want to go ahead and unclip it. It's a little bit hard to get because it is from underneath, but just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of pop this up and bring it back towards us, and the whole actual bezel should remove. Once you're in this step, you're going to want to go ahead and maybe get a blanket or something like that, because you're going to need to lay this down on its face. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we're going to go ahead and take off the actual grill so we can put the new one in. Now that you have it face down like this, you're going to notice on the back side there is going to be a couple set of screws. You're going to need the Phillips head for this. There's going to be one there. There's going to be one in there. And then you're going to look right here. There's one there, right there, right there, and there's one more here and here with the Phillips head, and I'll show you what's next. Alright, so once you're done, you should have a set of 8 screws. Let's go ahead and put those off to the side for now. The next step is going to be removing the actual sensor, because we're going to need to put this on the new grill. So you're going to notice there is a clip here for the harness. Let's go ahead and disconnect that. Just like that. It has a little clip where you push in and it pops right out. And then right here, if you have a panel removal tool or anything like that, it'll help you. If not, it should be possible by hand. It's not on there too tight. Just pull it out. On the actual sensor, you're going to notice there's a screw there, and a little silver one here. So remove those 3. Now you could go ahead and remove the sensor. So let's put this off to the side and make sure you don't lose these screws, because we are going to reuse them. You're also going to notice there is this silver like circle here. You want to go ahead and take it off, and there's one here. You just want to go ahead and take it off. It should remove easily, just like that. The next step is removing these little tabs here, and the grill should release. Alright, once that's released, put this piece back over. Well, as I stated, they look exactly the same Of course, the only difference, this one comes with Raptor lights on the top, and of course it's blacked out as well. So let's go ahead and put the new on. So when you first receive it, it's gonna come like this, of course. You're gonna notice all along there's gonna be little tabs like this, kind of like the ones we removed on the stock grill. So you're gonna go ahead and align all these tabs that go around into these holes. Make sure you don't break it because it is plastic. So let's go ahead and align, and they should just snap into place if you align it correctly. Try to align it as straight as possible to avoid any bends or cracks. What I like to do once I have it secured on, flip it over and just kind of go over it, make sure that all the tabs are in securely. Now I could go ahead and get ready to install the sensor garnish. You're gonna notice on the opposite side, there's a couple clips here that go along. You wanna go ahead and align them with the ones there. Give it a firm push. Make sure they snap into place. Once you have it securely put into place, let's go ahead and now flip it over. We're gonna go ahead and reinstall the actual sensor for this. So we're gonna, of course, like I had stated earlier, we're gonna reuse all of this hardware. So let's start with these silver pieces here that we took off from the old one. So you're gonna notice on one side they are round, and on the opposite side it's like a square. So the square side is gonna go facing down like this, and the round piece is going to be facing up. Let's go ahead and reinstall them exactly how they were on the old previous grill. Should just slide in with ease. Securely put these into place where they belong. We're gonna go ahead and now reinstall the sensor. You're gonna notice right here at the top there is a hole, and on this side there's also a hole right at the top. So those are gonna go into here and into here. So let's go ahead and align it. All right, now that it's aligned, we're gonna go ahead and, of course, reinstall these screws that we had taken off. Securely screwed down all the screws. Up next, we're gonna start with the wiring. Before we do that, let's reconnect the sensor. So this piece here, the cool thing about the grill, it does come with an actual stock placement for it, kind of like the stock actual grill. So you wanna go ahead and just insert that there. Nothing too hard about that. The sensor, of course, you want to go ahead and reconnect it exactly the way you took it off. Once you've done that, all we have left now is, of course, these three right here, which are going to be for the Raptor lights. Go ahead and get your wiring harness that was provided, and you really can't mess this up. It's actually pretty easy. It's nothing too hard about this. You're going to notice the tab here, and then right here it has like a little lip. You want to go ahead and connect those two. Make sure it snaps into place and it won't move. If you do have zip ties, that's probably something handy. I'll show you why later in the video. This, you're gonna notice it does not come with an added fuse or anything like that. So this is where you might want to go to maybe your local auto store, or just purchase them online. It might be a little cheaper, but we're gonna go ahead and now connect an added fuse to this, and then we're gonna go ahead and connect the connection here so we can bolt it down to our negative wire, which I'll show you in a minute. Up next, of course, as I stated, we're gonna grab the other side of the wiring harness. You're gonna notice there is a red and there is a black. One is gonna be your negative and one is gonna be the positive. So in this next step, you are gonna have to purchase this separately if you wanna do it correctly. So the things you are going to need to purchase are going to be an added fuse that are adequate for your actual Tacoma. You need to get a 15 amp fuse, and you're going to need to get a 10 amp fuse. You'll see why in a minute. I'm also going to be playing it safe and putting a heat shrink over the actual wire, which I'll show you in a minute. And then this here is the one that's going to connect for our negative. You can also get this at AutoZone. Section here, you could either maybe get some scissors. It's going to be a little bit hard because you don't want to cut the actual wire. But if you do have an actual wire stripper, that's going to be very handy in this section here. So we're going to go ahead and expose some more of the wire. I've exposed some of the wire. I'm going to go ahead and up next, put this down for now. I'm going to put my heat shrink over this wire. Like I said, this part you don't really need to do. This is, I'm just trying to take precautions. And now get the positive of the wiring harness. We're gonna go ahead and insert it. So once you've clamped it down, you wanna go ahead and just kind of make sure, pull on the wire a little, that it's not gonna come apart. If you did put heat shrink like I did, then you wanna go ahead and, of course, get a heat gun and heat shrink it. Alright, now that I'm satisfied with this, we're going to go ahead and now put the fuses. So you're going to go ahead and get your 15 amp fuse, number 15. That one's going to be on the bottom section of this add a fuse. So they literally just pop in. Top one, you're going to want to go ahead and get a number 10 and just pop that right in. It should look like this once you're done. Go ahead and focus now on the negative side. So let's go ahead and split this open a little bit using our wire splitters. I'm going to insert it into one of these bad boys here, and you'll see why I chose to use this in a second. So with mine, it does have a heat shrink on it, so I'm going to go ahead and get my heat gun and heat shrink it now. Both of my wires are done. Now we're basically ready for a plug and play type of install. So now that we have everything installed, our wiring process is basically done. Now all we need to do is of course get it back on the truck. So exactly the way you took this thing off the truck, you want to go ahead and reinstall that. I'm going to do that now, and then we'll get to where this goes in the fuse box. Up next, we're going to go ahead and reconnect the harness that's from the truck onto the actual sensor of the grill. So first thing we're going to do is right here, you're going to notice, of course, there's the brown clip that we took off of the grill piece. So let's go ahead and reinstall that. It just clips right into this section. Let's go ahead and reinstall the sensor harness. Just like that. This section here, if you guys do have zip ties, it would be helpful because you're going to have a lot of excess wire here, of course, from the Raptor lights. So if you want to go ahead and find your way and kind of zip tie them all the way up to your fuse box. Once you get to this section here, the negative, which is the black one from the wiring harness of the Raptor lights, we're going to go ahead and remove this screw here, which is a 10mm, and that's where we're going to go ahead and place the negative. As far as for the positive with the add a fuse, as stated, we're going to go ahead and connect that into the fuse box, which I'll show you exactly where that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and go kind of close up so that way you guys can see what I'm doing. So you're going to focus here. There is a screw here, and it's connected to the negative of the battery. You want to go ahead and remove that actual bolt. It's just a 10mm. Alright, so you're going to notice there is a little bolt here. So I'm going to hold that off to the side. Let's go ahead and grab the wiring harness for the Raptor lights. Let's grab the black one, which is the negative. And the reason I said it's good to get one of these like looped ones is that way we can put it over the actual bolt and it won't go anywhere. So that way it stays secure. So let's go ahead and now reinstall it. You do have a relay here like me, you just want to put it off to the side. The reason why is now we're going to go ahead and connect the positive into the fuse box. So let me show you what you want to do. So you want to go ahead and of course open up your fuse box. So once you've got it open, right here there is a 10A, which is going to be for your actual low beams. That's where we're going to be connecting the add a fuse. So there is a tool there. You want to go ahead and remove that because we are going to need it. Kind of like tweezers, you want to go ahead and look for that fuse, which is this one right here, and you want to go ahead and just pull it out. Once you've pulled it out, if I was you, I'd probably save this because you never know when you'll need it. Go ahead and put your little tool back. Once you've taken the fuse off, of course, now you want to go ahead and connect the add a fuse that you made for the Raptor lights. Push right in, nothing hard about that. And then the wire connection, you can go ahead and just kind of bring it down and put it back exactly the way you took it off, and nothing hard about this. Before I do show you the actual Raptor lights, how they look at night, I wanted to show you if you do it correctly, you shouldn't see any wires anywhere, and everything should be actually covered very nicely. First thing I wanted to show you before we see the actual lights at night, I wanted to show you that it actually works, and you're not going to get no sensor codes or anything like that. So as you can tell, the grill is installed and you're not getting no codes. Lights on, lights off, so we're good to go. So let me go ahead and now show you how it looks at night. I know that it is going to be a little bit overexposed, but as you can tell, the lights are on. And then, as I stated from the beginning, the cool thing about this actual grill is it gives you the factory look of the 2020 Tacomas, but with Raptor lights and of course a blacked out look as well. So it's a win-win in my books. I really like it. It's pretty cool. And as I stated, if you do end up wanting to purchase it, it's going to be in the description box below. So if you guys did like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Let's go ahead and keep growing together.